Okay, guys, so big news coming in all the way from England. There is now growing momentum as far as the return of a certain Ben Stokes is confirmed. And now, not one but two media outlets in England have gone ahead and confirmed the return of Ben Stokes for the ODI World Cup happening this year. Just a couple of months left for the ODI World Cup to begin. Remember, England played the opener as well against New Zealand in the Narendra Modi Stadium. And guess what? If these reports are to be believed, and these are credible newspapers from England now, there is Telegraph reporting as well as Daily Mail that had earlier reported that Ben Stokes is looking like a bit of a certainty now. Telegraph has now put a report which says that Ben Stokes, the player of the match of the 2019 World Cup final, is all set to make a comeback to ODI cricket. It was only last year on the 18th of July when he had gone ahead, put out a huge post on social media and announced a shock retirement from the ODI World Cup. He has continued to play in the shortest format of the game, as well as is obviously now the leader of the side when it comes to test match cricket. But as things turn out, it is and if these reports are to be believed, he is coming back for the ODI World Cup. This was a question that was asked to him a couple of times in the past as well. In fact, during the course of the ongoing recently concluded Ashes as well, but there weren't any comments or any such indications given back then. But having said that, now multiple reports claiming that Ben Stokes will be returning to the England side for this particular edition of the ODI World Cup. Now, two things happen after that, and this is with regards to the IPL as well. Now, if Ben Stokes, because it is understood that he has a dodgy knee, if these reports are to be believed now, Ben Stokes will take part in this year's edition of the World Cup. But what does he do after that? He lets go of the IPL. That could be a thing that Ben Stokes, and he's willing to do that. He wants to make this comeback, but he is ready to let go of the IPL deal that he has with the Chennai Super Kings if need be, because he may have to undergo a knee surgery. He has a dodgy knee. He was troubled at times over the last couple of months, but as it turns out, he, if need be, could let go of the next season of the IPL, which will be the 2024 edition, if he has to take care of his knee and if it requires surgery. Remember, he has been saddled with injuries, let's say, off late, and that was perhaps one of the reasons that he cited that he says that when he announced his retirement, one of the things he said was it's not sustainable anymore to be able to play across all three formats, which is why he decided to give up on the ODI format of the game, in that note that he had put out last year while announcing his retirement. But over the last couple of months as well, if you see, even during the IPL, I remember him missing a few matches because of some toe injury as well that he had back then. So it was it was a season in which, yes, you could see him take part, but of course he missed some games, and then again he made a comeback of sorts in the IPL. But injuries have been bothering Ben Stokes for a while now, and it was perhaps to manage his workload that he had taken this decision last year. But turns out he is all set to reverse that decision now. An official and a formal announcement from the England Cricket Board is still awaited, but multiple outlets, if you're joining us right now confirming it is the Daily Mail and the Telegraph, both have gone ahead and confirmed that Ben Stokes is all set to make a comeback. He will be in the scheme of things for England for the upcoming edition of the World Cup. They play two vital series before that, and remember, as far as the squads of for the World Cup is concerned, 5th of September is believed to be the date that you need to give your preliminary squads to, though teams can go ahead and make changes to their squads right up till the 29th of September. But 5th of September is when you need to submit your team to the ICC. Interesting to see if Ben Stokes' name does pop up on that list. But now, if these reports are to be believed, it is a certainty that you will see Ben Stokes feature for England in the ODI World Cup. They do look like a menacing side already, but if you add Ben Stokes to that side in the middle order, well, you can only imagine how strong an outfit England become in the 50-over format of the game as well. Many say they are the favourites in the lead up to the World Cup, they are the favorites in this particular edition. You put in a Ben Stokes, into the mix, the things completely change, and they don't just become favorites. Then it just strengthens their case, let's say, even more, and England will get a big push if they are to get the player of the match of the 2019 edition of the World Cup as well. What a tournament he had, though. One cannot forget that stunning catch that he took while fielding in the deep, that of Pekloquayo, and of course that stunning knock that he played against New Zealand in the final was as well. If it wasn't for all the drama that surrounded around Ben Stokes, those 84 crucial runs that he scored in the final, England wouldn't have gotten their maiden World Cup title. But it was Ben Stokes around whom England, rather courtesy his efforts in the tournament, that England went ahead and were crowned champions for the very first time. And it is around him as well that they then gain success in the 2022 edition of the World Cup too. So Ben Stokes, big man, a key man as far as England are concerned. And if he comes back to the squad, if he, in the most sensational manners, let's say, if he is to make a comeback just for the World Cup, well, things could completely change. This World Cup could, this World Cup could have an outright favorite, let's say, even before the tournament begins. Yes, of course, including India, there are some other teams as well that are going to be, fighting it out and look very good as well. But England, given the kind of cricket that they're playing for the last 6 to 8 months, well, it is very difficult to compete against this English side. More and more questions coming in at the moment. We'll be taking those questions as well. And for those of you joining us right now, there are now credible reports emerging from the UK that Ben Stokes, in the most sensational manner, is all set to come back for the ODI World Cup. This could in fact mean that in some ways he will compromise or let go of next year's edition of the of the IPL, because his knee may need a surgery. We don't know quite yet, but at the moment he has been facing some issues with his knee. But even then, does now appear that Ben Stokes will be coming back into the England fold. 5th of September is when teams will be submitting their list to the ICC, and ahead of the World Cup, two key series as well coming up for England. They will be playing against New Zealand, and then there'll be a series against Ireland as well. Interesting to see if Ben Stokes features in those two series. And of course, from an England perspective, let's say if you're looking at bringing him back into the ODI mix of things, because he's not played any ODI cricket in a little over 1 year since he announced his retirement. You would want him to be playing in these two series before Ben Stokes then goes ahead and plays the tournament opener in Ahmedabad, which will happen against New Zealand. So that's how things look like as far as England are concerned. Ben Stokes all set to make his comeback. We still await an official confirmation from the England Cricket Board. The moment that comes in as well, we here at Sports Day will be ready to inform you with that as well. But for now, that's all the time that we have, and a story which has already created shockwaves in the world of cricket. Well, once that official announcement comes in, you can only imagine the kind of noise it's going to make in world cricket. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Don't forget to download the AajTak app. Do check out the website as well for our wide coverage of other sports as well. And in case you haven't already done so, do subscribe to Sports Day so that you know when we go live every time that we have an update for you.